Hello everyone, and welcome to another Factorio Reddit Weekly. I'm Exterminator, and thank you so much for joining me. As always, we are checking out the last post in the previous week sorted by top. Now, there are going to be quite a few here that we did see last week, just because I was a day late last week doing it on Tuesday, and I'm obviously doing it on Monday now, so there's some overlap, but I won't have time to do it tomorrow this week, so I need to get it done today, as it should be. So there's just going to be some duplicates. But in case you didn't see last week's or just want to see some of these again, we'll start with this one. How excited would you be to see this in real life? So we did look at this last week, but this is this is awesome. This is by Landmine. I actually did not realize it was by Landmine initially last week. Maybe I should read username stuff more. But one thing that I didn't examine last week is Landmine did actually link to this, where Guaca about 7 months ago made this in real life, like a Lego version of it, which is pretty freaking awesome in my opinion. Like, this is legitimately a Lego set that they made. So they custom made this, obviously, but and then they have a link here. So if you're interested, if you're into Lego, they have a link here to Bricklink where you can basically put together all the parts. Like, they have you can compile all the parts to make this and then order them if you want to make this. I looked at it, and I would need to refine it. For some reason, it's incredibly expensive. I think there's maybe some parts that could be swapped out that are just like super rare or something. But just thought I'd mention that if anyone else is into Lego like me. I mean, I looked at it because I wanted to build it, and then I looked and it was like $800, and I was like, this does not seem right. So there's definitely something in here that's making it like exorbitantly expensive. So I'd have to look into that. But I listened to your feedback and made the new and improved tank aligner. All right, so yeah, this was last week. I'm just gonna briefly look at this. I really like how they used. So they're gonna they use the wall to align it here. You do lose like 2 or 3 walls each time, but still super cool for sure. And then it just spits it out there. I really like that. And then this is by them again. So this is their initial post, which isn't quite as improved, but still decent. I'd say this is probably more like something I would make. I honestly would not have even thought of trying to use the walls to align it, like by crashing into the walls. So pretty cool. So this is a blueprint simulating a quantum system in Factorio. Simulating a quantum system in Factorio. The circuit solves the Schrödinger equation for a single particle in one dimension. The wave function shows the probability distribution of a particle's position over here. Due to the uncertainty principle, both the position and velocity of the particle are uncertain. Okay, so I do know about that principle. Barrier, classically the particle should reflect fully. In quantum mechanics, particles can tunnel through with some small probability. For nuclear fusion, radioactive decay, molecular formation. That's actually really cool. Particle is tunneled through with 20% probability. Here's an interesting question, see if you can figure it out. Notice where the peak of the tunnel particle is. Now let's compare it to the particle that never went through a barrier. The unimpeded particle somehow moves slower than the particle that tunneled through the barrier. Interesting. This is crazy that someone did this. So we're approaching 1080p resolution for in-game circuits now. This is just nuts. Like, if you want to look into this more, this is just crazy that people do this. So this is another tank depot. Just very briefly going to look at this. Now this one does actually use, well, I was going to say it uses the wall to align it. I think that was just not necessarily for that purpose there. Very defensive, almost island seed. Oh, this is pretty good. So it looks like there's a little connection here, and I don't think there's one there. Maybe. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know if that's actually walkable, but there's one here. Overall, that would be insanely easy to defend. And there's the seed. Launch a rocket with no belts, no pipes. So we saw this last week too. This is ridiculous. As I discussed last week, the no inserter, like the no belts, I could probably do. The no pipes, I don't really know how I would achieve that. I guess I would, barrels maybe it looks like they're doing. My brain would explode doing this. I was wondering why it suddenly takes 1 minute to save my game. Turns out I forgot about surface scanning. My save is now 300 megabytes. Oh dear. That's yeah, that's a big area. I think it is space exploration they're playing. Maybe. It's definitely modded to some degree. Ran into this issue when I started along satellites. Thought it would be cool to know what was happening on other planets. Quickly bumped up my save file to 600 megabytes. Oh my god. Whew. Yeah, it's space exploration. Yeah, because basically every planet is another surface in the mod, so that would kind of explode your game file. Marcus Person, the creator of Minecraft, this is Notch, commented on my train defense video. I'm a huge fan of Minecraft, so this is awesome. This is genius. Nice. Your setup is really interesting and well thought. Good job. 14 on a locomotive mega base train defense grid. Biters to death. Oh, I think we saw that on the Reddit a few weeks ago. That was really cool. He's actually how I learned about Factorio. Yeah, so Notch actually shared, I think, Notch has played Factorio, and I think mentioned it on Twitter a few times. Just diagonal green circuits. I hate it, but I also like it. Not sure how I feel about this. Kind of painful, kind of sad. This is exactly my thoughts. Like how he has steel furnaces burning nuclear fuel. It's actually pretty smart. That will last a very long time. Like, the more I look at this, I kind of like it. It throws me off, but it's pretty neat, actually. I'm not sure I could build diagonal stuff too well. Now introducing the worst but circular smeltery design. So we saw this last week too. This is another one where it's pretty cool. I wouldn't have really considered doing something like this. It's not really a loop either. It doesn't connect. It just kind of inputs one in, outputs the other, but it's in a circular design, which is pretty interesting. I mean, this has 2, 4, 6, 24, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 34, 44, like 48 furnaces. So this is obviously way wider than a normal, like, inline smelter setup, but it's way shorter. So I'm just curious how this works space efficiency wise. There's a lot of wasted space in here, but overall it's a pretty cool way to fit in that amount of furnaces. Happy birthday, Factorio 1.0. Oh yeah, August 14th, so this was obviously a couple days ago, but it's crazy to think it's been a year since 1.0 launched. It does not feel that long. And also 1 year since Friday Facts are no longer weekly. Has it for real been a year since that? I thought they kept doing Friday Facts for a little bit after. That's nuts. A bit more satisfied by the fact that I found a person that actually has YouTube Premium. This 1.0 trailer only has how many million views. Kind of sad how niche this gem of game is. People don't watch this trailer, people play it. That's true. I think a lot of people just find it on Steam, too, rather than, like, finding a trailer on YouTube. I know the trailer's probably on Steam, but my take on the tank stops, hop out, hop in with buffer for fresh fish loading. Oh man, I got fish loading too. This is blurry as heck. Oh, that's super cool. It just loads them up. It really is like a car factory. Tank stop? No, tank dispenser. Yes, it is a tank dispenser. Technically, those are fish tanks, right? I tried to get into Factorio, but after a while of playing, I just couldn't anymore because I realized my bedroom is highly inefficient. The amount of time it takes me to just get dressed could be shaved down by 70% if I just organize my wardrobe a little better and make sure there's enough space to easily reach it, and other things by segmenting workspaces and disposing of anything that doesn't increase productivity. 10 out of 10. Thanks, Factorio, for helping get my life and room in order. I'd love the comments here. I've already read some of these, but you can get to 100% efficiency when you realize you don't need to get dressed. Staying in pajamas all day saves a lot of time. The pants require taking off before going to the toilet. New with the blanket is even more efficient. Oh my gosh. Set up a table in the bathroom, move your desktop in front of the pot. See, now this is the real big brain. I mean, realistically, yes. This is very true, but jokingly, this is probably the most efficient. Have you tried automating your sleeping patterns to maximize efficiency? That's why I sleep 3 hours every 96 hours. Yeah. I feel like that would lower your productivity in game though, because you would just be so tired. Factorio 1.0 out for 1 year now. My factory has been running 24/7 since then. Mine's about 3 weeks, Biden pollution. What are your playtimes like? Anyone been running longer? I don't know if you could count this as playtime. I mean, it says playtime, but you're not actually playing. I mean, this is 8,200 hours. This is insane. I would be really curious. I would like more information on their map. If you also have a server that's been running 24/7 since the beginning of 018, 17,000 hours in game time, 7k signs per minute, 60k UPS, 5.6 million rockets. That's insane. That is ridiculous. I mean, my playtime is 19,000 hours. Be careful. Oh, max playtime. The thing, like, it's super cool. Don't get me wrong. It's super cool to just let your factory run. At some point, though, I feel like it kind of just becomes, I mean, it basically just becomes a clicker game. We just let it sit there and then like forget it even is a thing. At least for me, it would be. You know, like if you literally just haven't even done anything on it for like months and it's just been running. I don't know how exciting that is. The stats are pretty incredible, but my tank ammo depot. Man, so many tank ammo things. People are gonna have some crazy cool tank loaders after this week and last week. The pit stop. You need to install those 11-foot 8 warning signs. Yes, exactly. Space exploration, but make it gay. I mean, this is pretty cool. I assume these are shields. This is not... This is, like, way more advanced graphically than when I played space exploration. People still use LTN. I ditched that as soon as train limits were introduced. Yeah, I never use LTN. Fully automated luxury case space. Oh my goodness. Okay. Beyond confused with the offshore pump behavior, removing and placing offshore pumps changes the total flow through the same pump. Also, symmetric layouts result in different flow amounts. So place pump, removed and replaced offshore pump. So pumping speed increased. What? Well, I guess this is just a good example of the fluid mechanics and why I hate them. Like this, if you could sum up my thoughts about fluid mechanics, this would basically be it. Fluid mechanics in Factorio can be quite janky and unpredictable. T-junctions don't act as perfect splitters, and priority is probably given to specific directions, which explains why symmetrical setups have different throughputs. I really hope they fix fluids in the expansion. That'd be great. Because they are a complete mess. Ammo depot iteration. Oh my goodness, so many of these things. Like, this is cool. Don't get me wrong. But I kind of hope next week is not full of these as well. Yo, this is a lot. Like, I'm not discrediting anybody who's posted this stuff. It's really cool. It's very inspiring. This one's actually incredibly satisfying too to see it slowly moving along like that. But it's kind of a lot. Nothing breaks. I too thought breaking stuff was a feature. Yes, exactly. Oh, train, you really need help. I think this intersection may need some help. Well, there's no train. Where's the train? Well, yeah, this was the intersections problem, not the train's problem. The 0th rule of train Factorio: make sure your train fits in your junction designs. Yeah, or don't do roundabouts. This is the first working way to automate destruction items I've seen in vanilla. Yes. Stand amongst the ashes of 1,000,000,000 dead souls and ask the ghosts if honor matters. The silence is your answer. I like how he's standing in the middle of the multiple nuke craters as well. Yeah, so many people share the same thoughts I do. Quote is from Mass Effect, apparently, for others who might not know it. Yep. This is though in Factorio. This is still very satisfying. I gotta say. Do you think this intersection makes sense? I know that roundabouts alone would be sufficient, but having extra spaghetti inside allows my train to take take slightly shorter routes. I mean, they don't crash, and you're not. Yeah, sorry, if they don't crash and you are getting items faster, and you have more than enough resources to spend on spaghetti, definitely order the spaghetti. It's just removing the roundabout part. Yeah, well, that would be my thought. Definitely would be my thought there. I think this world hates me. Oh my goodness. It's very happy to see you. Looks like a... Oh my god. I've been trying to understand the math that makes balancers work. 4x4 is easy enough to figure out, but can anyone help in making sense out of the balancers that have belt splitting and looping back to previous splitters, because my brain just can't. Okay, not balanced. Not balanced. Balanced. And, but, so this explanation, when they have input loop back, the case it's easiest for me to think of is a 3-to-1 splitter. Yeah, so this is a good example. Functionally, it is just a 1-to-4 splitter that takes the extra output and puts it back in. If you're trying to use math to calculate the ratios, how much input ends on each belt, then the fraction of product that ends up on each belt after a loop is the sum of a geometric series. I really wish I knew more about geometric series, but depression caused me to flunk out of college. Oh, dang, that's fortunate. When it comes to balancers, the IMO, the undisputed master of Factorio balancers, is Ring Quest. He made a very good post. Basically, that's how this first part is how I think about it. A 1-to-3 balancer. When you see it looping back in, it's just taking the extra and just feeding it back through it again to be balanced. It's kind of the way I think about it. Now, I couldn't make one, but kind of new to Factorio, but here's my tileable green science production. Is this tileable? I guess so. This is very complicated for being tileable. Very overproduction of inserters and belts, but I do like the fact that they're thinking tileably. It's a really good start. I definitely was not for a very long time when I was playing, so they're ahead of me in that sense. The things we do before we learn about ratios. Yes. Overall, though, I like it. They're definitely making some good initial progress. My first megabase, 7K signs per minute, or thereabouts. Okay, thanks, Reddit. That is a large base. Stats, though. Interesting how they have the different colors on that. Is that a mod? Ooh, now this is an interesting science lab build. Okay, while that loads, holy moly. How does it feel the guy who made a tank ammo reload station get more upvotes, right? I mean, this is very impressive. I'm gonna be really blurry in it. Oh, wow. I can't say I've really seen a setup like this. It does appear to be, well, I'm not sure if it's 12 beaconed, because there's just gaps. I can't quite tell. But it's mostly fully beaconed at the very minimum. All the belts running like every which way is pretty fascinating. Actually, I really have not seen something like this in a large scale. So that's pretty cool. Well done. May have gone a little overboard with my smeltery design. Gosh darn it. That's a lot of rails. I think there's more rails than smelters there. Holy moly. Lots of loop things and other... I don't really entirely understand. This is so many rails. Why spend 10 minutes copy pasting smaller smelteries when you can spend 3 hours building one huge smeltery? Right? I mean, it does look really cool. So it outputs 86,400 plates per minute. It's pretty good. 540 beacons, 300 electric furnaces, speed beacons. There we go. This is what I wanted. 4,000 track segments. Holy moly. Looks like a head. It does? Maybe it does. Hold on. Kind of does. But yeah, overall very cool. I mean, that takes a lot of ingenuity. Like, I don't entirely understand. I mean, I guess I can see the reason, like, where all the rails go. Just seems kind of excessive, but very cool. A lot of ingenuity that went into that. And I think that's going to cover it for this one. I believe, yeah, we got first page, some stuff on the second page is usually about how far we go. Apologies for the overlap, but that happens when I get a, start a day behind in the previous week usually. So hopefully next week we should be on track since I am doing this on Monday. And I think that will do it. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy, hit that thumbs up button. A like is appreciated. It helps other people find it. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications. Keep up with all the content. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.